You know what I'm here for.
Back on top, punching the clock, clutching sanity. I got more cribs than Habitat for Humanity.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff has been going on over the last couple of days. So be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you are new. It helps out the channel a lot. And we talk about basketball daily on this channel, so you don't want to miss it. I think the appropriate place to start is hearing that Kyrie Irving and Isaiah Thomas are back in the league. Well, they're kind of back in the league. It's a little more complicated than that. I want to start with Kyrie because this was the big news. I think this kind of, shook everybody a little bit. We got reports earlier this week that there was growing optimism that Kyrie Irving could return to the team, potentially at some point this season, whether it's on a part-time basis where he's just playing away games because he does not have the vaccine. And I just think that was refreshing for basketball fans to hear that, okay, Kyrie's one of the most exciting players in the league, and we'll probably get to see him play basketball at some point this season, which wasn't clear, going into the season when he was not allowed to, be with the team at any point, which is what the organization decided to do because he was not vaccinated. But we got that report, and then the very next day, Kyrie posted a video on his Instagram story, I believe, of him putting on his shoes. And everybody's like, oh, maybe that's a sign that Kyrie's going to be back soon. And yesterday, on Friday, we got the news that the Nets have agreed to let Kyrie Irving come back on a part-time basis. So basically, he can play all games outside of the state of New York. And I guess Toronto now also has COVID restrictions where visiting players cannot play if they are not vaccinated. So that's another interesting part. But we'll probably get to see Kyrie Irving play basketball very soon. They said they're going to bring him back slowly. He has to practice a little bit, get back with the team, get back in rhythm. But we'll see him. So that's very good that we'll get to see him. He did just enter health and safety protocols. And I think a lot of people, me included, when I first looked at him, I'm like, that's kind of crazy. Like, he just got basically accepted back into the Brooklyn Nets organization, and now he's already in protocol. But I think that's just a precaution because he's not vaccinated. He has not been with the team all season. So they want to allow him to get back. He has to, pass a couple tests and stuff like that. And that organization is going through COVID hell right now. In fact, Kevin Durant just got put in the health and safety protocol. So they're going through hell right now. James Harden, I believe, still out. They're going through a lot. So it's a little bit of a precaution. But we'll see. We're going to get into all the COVID talk. I want to get into the next news. I'm glad to see Kyrie Irving is back into the league, though, because one of the most exciting players in the league, and he makes this Nets team even more dynamic. If he gets back onto a full-time basis, I'm in the camp. I think the East will be the Nets conference to lose. I think they will be the favorite team to win that conference. And the next one, this one really just warmed my heart. And I think if you're a fan of basketball, you should be very happy for this man getting another chance. And I'm not sure how long it's going to last with this team because it's just a 10-day contract. But Isaiah Thomas is back in the league. He's back in the league, man. And, man, somebody that's been through a lot, bro. Trying to, leave my fandom out of this because he's one of my favorite players. Watching him in Boston those few seasons was some of my favorite times watching basketball. Even though that team did not win a championship, they made, I think, a couple conference finals runs. But it was just fun and exciting to watch that team because of Isaiah Thomas and just him ascending each and every year when he was with that team, becoming an MVP candidate in 2017. Just doing things at 5'9" that really people should not be able to do in the NBA. But he was doing that. He was scoring almost 30 points a game at 5'9". Like, that's just crazy, man. An average-sized dude just going in the league and dropping 30 every night was incredible to watch. And he played through a hip injury, and it got worse and worse. And it was bothering him, probably for years after that. And he said he's the healthiest he's ever been. Got a little opportunity last year with the Pelicans, but it didn't last too long after the 10-day contract. Went into the offseason. He was killing in, pro-ams and summer leagues and stuff like that. He was playing very good basketball. Went to the G League this past week, and he dropped a 42-piece. And then the very next day, the Lakers signed him to a 10-day contract. And a lot of people were like, well, the Lakers they don't need any more guards. They kind of need some wing depth. They need some, defensive-minded guys on the wing, some 3D type dudes. But they had sent a few guys into COVID protocols. Malik Monk was just, I think, getting out. Then Talon Horton-Tucker got sent in. Avery Bradley got sent in. Russell Westbrook also got sent in, but I guess he tested out. So he actually played last night after, one day before getting sent into protocols. But Isaiah Thomas is on a 10-day contract, and it warms my heart to see it. And then he led the Lakers in scoring last night with 19 points off that bench. I'm excited, man. I think he'll get a chance to show that he can still be a very viable piece to a team that's, trying to win games. I think he can be that. I mean, at this stage in his career, he's probably not the all-star that he once was. I mean, he's really been removed from that for 4 years now. It's been a very long time if you really think about it. But I think he can still be somebody. A lot of teams need a dude that can just come off the bench and get buckets. A lot of teams need something like that. Hell, like the New York Knicks could use somebody like that. There's a bunch of teams that could use somebody that can just come off the bench, score the basketball, and just provide great minutes off the bench offensively. And I don't know how long he'll last with the Lakers. The Lakers are kind of it's a comedy show there. Like, you don't really know what's going on with that team. AD just got hurt. Hopefully he's cool. The injury looked like it could be, maybe a little lengthier than maybe just a day-to-day type of injury. So hopefully he's fine. But the Lakers, they're hard to predict. A team that's probably going to make some moves at the trade deadline or as we get, closer towards that point. But I'm just excited that Isaiah's back, getting another opportunity. Because fans have been begging for it. He's basically been begging for his opportunity. And I think if it doesn't, even if it's not with the Lakers, I think other teams will see this and, he'll get another opportunity somewhere else if he doesn't get another 10-day or get signed for the rest of the season. I'm excited for him, man. And he showed last night that he still has good bursts and he can still score the ball. I mean, 19 points on 11 shots off the bench is pretty good, especially when you're playing with, a team that has, a lot of firepower when it comes to ball handling and guys that can produce. So it was a good sign, led the team in scoring, even though they lost last night to a Anthony Edwards-less Timberwolves team. But hey, glad to see Isaiah producing, man. The Lakers, they're the Lakers. Then the last piece, this could probably, I'm concerned. I'm very concerned that the league might get shut down maybe for like 2-3 weeks, maybe a month. Because, man, COVID is really hitting the NBA very bad right now. I mean, yesterday I saw a post, I think it was like 63 to like 70 players were currently in protocol. And that's like a fifth or sixth of the league. Like, there's only like 400 players in the NBA, like somewhere around that. Like, that's a good chunk of the league. And a lot of the guys that have been hit have been all-star caliber players. Mention KD, mention James Harden. LeBron got hit, a few weeks ago. Russell Westbrook just got hit, but he was able to test out. We've seen guys, Kyrie Irving just got put in there. The Celtics are dealing with, like, 4 players just got sent into health and safety protocols. Like, teams all around the league. We've seen the Bulls have to shut down for a little bit. The Nets might be next. The Knicks have sent guys to protocol. Like, it's like, I think every team is probably dealing with some type of COVID issue right now. And there's been outbreaks, man. We've seen coaches getting it. We've seen people in the front office getting it. It's getting bad. It's getting bad, man. And it's like, man, we're like almost 2 full years into the global pandemic. And it doesn't seem like it's getting much better. It's just we know what to expect from this stuff now. A lot of the guys are asymptomatic, but that doesn't mean that you can't pass it on to somebody and they could have symptoms if they get it. So it's like it's a dicey situation. And even guys that are vaccinated are getting it. So it's not like the vaccine is, a full block. It's just a precaution, just like wearing a mask is a precaution. I know the NBA players, they're testing every day. They're taking all the safety precautions in order to, limit outbreaks, but I don't think it was this bad last year when there were less fans in the arena. That might be a product of it. Having more fans might be a product of it, but I could see the league either reducing capacity maybe to 50%. I think that's what the Raptors are doing and all Canadian sports teams are doing. I could see the league maybe doing that, or maybe a mini shutdown, not to where we have to go to a bubble, but just where, we'll have a couple weeks off, let everybody, isolate, get back right, and hopefully resume the league. I guess the silver lining is a lot of the guys that are getting it now, they're going to be, more immune to it down the line. That's kind of cool, but man, it's crazy. It's like every time I get a tweet notification from Woj or Shams, it's like somebody's in health and safety protocols. And it just worries me, man, because like I said, this is our basically 3rd year dealing with COVID. As NBA fans, this is our 3rd year dealing with the COVID situations. And I don't remember it getting this bad. I mean, obviously, when it first happened, it was just kind of this big deal because nobody knew what to expect. Last year, there were outbreaks for sure. Some teams were playing with like 8 guys, in their rotations. But the league was, managing it. There were less fans and stuff. This year's a little different, though. I mean, we got full capacity. We got the vaccine and stuff, but guys are still catching it. So it's a little dicey situation. I'm interested to see what the league is going to do about it. We've seen they were very hesitant to shut the Chicago Bulls down for a few games. It was like the city of Chicago that had to push the league towards, doing that. So it's dicey situation, man. Hopefully it gets better, especially with the Christmas Day games coming up. Not to be like a greedy fan here, but Christmas Day is the biggest day of basketball. All eyes are going to be on the NBA, and there's always, great games and stuff going on. But man, it's like the teams that are playing are all dealing with COVID situations. They are all dealing with COVID situations. So it's getting rough, man. But hopefully, either it just clears up a little bit, maybe it's just a bad season for it, like a bad time of the year for COVID to be breaking out. It is like cold season and stuff like that, and you add COVID to it, it's a little different. But hopefully it just clears up a little bit. Maybe the league does take the precautions and, you know, just shut it down for a couple weeks so we don't have to deal with guys getting COVID going into the postseason or teams having outbreaks later on in the year. Some other news, Klay Thompson and the Warriors are targeting a January return date. I like to see Klay Thompson getting closer to playing basketball. It's been so long since he's played basketball, almost like 3 years. I mean, 2019 is the last time we've seen Klay Thompson on an NBA court, so it's good to see Klay Thompson. We'll be back soon. That's great, but man, a lot of news going on in the league. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe. It helps out a lot. Also, make sure you click the bell so you don't never miss a video, because we talk about basketball all the time on this channel. But I'll be back hopefully tomorrow to talk more NBA hoops with y'all, man. Peace.
Off season. Let's work. Hey, plotting my escape this game.